Hello, hello. Back in the commentary booth with Kill2 and Michael Bolton. We have Sev3rance versus Paisti Syndicate, AT9 Day 1. On your left for Sev3rance, we have 3 Tempests, a Badger Mark II, a Scimitar, 3 Manticores, and 2 Nemesis.
And for Paisti Syndicate, we have 3 Sleipnirs, a Hurricane, a Tengu, a Scimitar, 3 Sabers, and a Thrasher.
So pretty awesome here, seeing the poor man's Macariel for Sev3rance. The Tempest coming out, which we've seen a couple times in the tournament, which is always great. I think it's one of the coolest ships in the game. You should have gotten some sense of range there. These ships are, it looks like actually the Paisti team warped basically to the beacon, so they're at 0, which makes sense in their kind of speed setup here with the Sleipnirs and the Hurricane. Sev3rance, on the other hand, warped to max range. So there'll be a 50k distance that, now that we're underway, Paisti Syndicate will close extremely quickly. And it looks to me like we have bombs in the air. So I don't know if you'll get a good shot of that. There it is. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, they took a ship out. 2 ships out. 2 ships. That's pretty sweet.
Looks like they did most of their damage to those small destroyers, though. The linchpin, we just lost a bomber for Sev3rance. The linchpin of the Sev3rance team, clearly the Badger Mark II, one of my favorite ships to PvP in. And the Sleipnir is into about a quarter shields, but getting reps from that Scimitar. We'll have to see if it makes it back up.
Damage all split across the Paisti Syndicate team, of course, because of the bombs. Just lost another bomber, I believe. Wow, we're going to lose a Sleipnir as well. A lot of damage in both of these setups. We're going to lose the first Sleipnir for Paisti at the same time. We're only down to 2 bombers. All 3 Manticores now down. Thankfully, the Badger's still alive, though.
Yeah, the fighting between these 2 teams almost as thick as the fighting between our 2 experts in the studio. We've got about, we still got that damage spread. Looks like we're finally getting some damage onto one of the Sev3rance Tempests.
It'll be important to see whether or not either of these Scimitars can get control of this match. It doesn't look like it at this point. The Sev3rance Nemesis going down way before any reps can really kick in. I definitely see shield bots active, but no real sign of effective logistics going on right now. Curious about the Tempest setups. I'm looking at one of the Tempests, and he's not particularly close to the fight. I guess close enough to be running, what is that, neutralizing? Yeah, so he's close enough. But it doesn't look to me like his guns are active, so maybe there's some E-War going on here, and that's why the logistics aren't being effective.
Yeah, it looks like it. We're about to lose another Sleipnir for the Paisti Syndicate team. And the Syndicate team. And we're about to lose a Tempest for the Sev3rance team. All of those stealth bombers have been destroyed, leaving soon to be only 2 Tempests for the Sev3rance DPS, with only a Sleipnir, a Hurricane, and a Tengu for Paisti Syndicate DPS.
Yeah, the first Tempest is about to go down. There's a big brawl right here in the middle of the field. It'd be maybe helpful if one of these teams had brought smart bombs like some of the past teams. There goes that first Tempest. He was up close and personal with the remaining Sleipnir. Now just 4 ships left, though, for Paisti Syndicate. I wonder if the E-War that was having a huge effect on logistics, whatever sort it happened to be, will subside. Maybe it was just the newts from the Tempest that are keeping the Paisti Scimitar from being effective. In any case, down to just 4 ships on each side now.
Very much so. All the Tempests, as you know, have 2 utility high slots, so they're probably neuting just a tremendous amount. The Badger Mark II still alive, hoping it can pull it out. The Sleipnir is actually receiving reps for maybe the first time in the match, holding right around a third of its shields, so we'll have to see what happens here. Looks like this Sev3rance Scimitar is starting to take some real damage.
Yeah, he's in trouble. He's trying to go and hug his Tempest pal. I don't really know what the point of that is. He should be probably just headed away if possible. He doesn't look webbed to me, but he's probably low on cap, I guess. Here comes a Tengu coming in. This really has just been like a total brawl in the middle of the arena. That Scimitar goes down. So just a pair of Tempests now. It looks like maybe the Paisti logistics has sort of got things under control. The Sleipnir's been hanging on quite a while now, and he's been getting reps, at least in the real recent future.
I think what probably happened is I think the Scimitar got out of range of those needs on the Tempest, and now finally has the cap to deliver some reps. That Tempest is in half shields and dropping pretty quickly. We'll have to see if the Sleipnir falls before the Tempest.
Yeah, I think smart bombs are going to be something that really is important in a lot of these matches. Definitely a lot of shield bots contributing to the Sleipnir's tank. There goes the Badger finally.
That was the linchpin of the team. I don't think that their chances are low now.
You know, this Slipner's going to go down, it looks like. I'm really surprised by that. I would think that with just these two... I mean, I guess the Tempest have a lot of newts, so neutralization, a huge problem for logistics. I would think that the Paisti Scimitar could get range and then keep himself out of the newt pressure, but I guess not. There goes the Slipner. So now we have two Tempests across from a Hurricane, a Tengu, and a Scimitar. I would think this is a bad match for the Tempest, but they keep killing stuff despite that kind of being the case for the last 5 minutes or so here.
Yeah, I think people need to understand the value of the practice that these teams do beforehand. And 3 Tempests is just not something that people have seen or that you practiced against. So it might just be that they weren't fully aware of how to handle those Tempests when they came in, and the Tempests got quite a few kills.
So there goes the second to last Tempest. But before he went down, it was interesting. I was looking at him. He's going fairly slow, 600 meters a second. The Paisti Scimitar is going 2,500 meters a second, really, really fast. And yet the the Scimitar, stayed in range of the Tempest newts the entire time. So he's really putting himself under cap pressure, which I assume has got to be why, for instance, this Hurricane hasn't been able to hold his tank. But I'm not sure what the reason for that would be, because he's got enormous velocity advantage. So I don't know. Maybe this is just a case of them feeling confident at this point, not really being worried about it. But
yeah, exactly. There's a small chance that maybe they can do some damage to the Hurricane, but the Hurricane is getting reps. It looks like this is going to be a pretty solid victory for Paisti Syndicate, but Sev3rance did score a good amount of points.
Yeah, exactly. Another match where both teams getting on the board, getting a lot of stuff killed, which is really going to matter. I think we're going to have a lot of really close scores coming out of these groups, and it's going to be a really big deal which of these teams manage to get the extra kills. This last Tempest now going into structure pretty quickly. I actually think this is a heavy assault Tengu, which is pretty sweet. Ham Tengu. So with that, 3 ships left on the field for Paisti Syndicate. They're going to take this one down after this Tempest falls, and you guys will have the joy of heading back to the studio where you can hear the John Zastro show. And
yeah, we're going to send it back to the studio where you can hear John Zastro and Shadu yell at each other for the next 5 minutes.